Connections. Not good evening. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Raise your hands. Good. Then you okay? I'll ask you, have 2 seconds for you. Okay. Thank you. Put your hands down. How was your homework? Who think was easy? And you get more than 95% for everything. Well, who think it was difficult? And who think it was medium? Yeah, I would say it's medium. Medium. So this is imitation of digital, which has actually 3 sections. Always 3 sections. And bottleneck is, or problem for this is time frame. At home you have more opportunity to solve it, but when you have time frame, exactly, let's say 32 minutes, it's finished. So this is different story. That's why we're supposed to solve these problems not only correctly, but also fast. If you have shortcuts, use shortcuts. But at home, don't try to do it fast. To practice on with your stopwatch, right? You can use previous test. And this test develop your skill, writing steps, analyzing, don't skip it, because you can study simultaneously fast and without writing steps. So let's go over through this stuff. And before, so we get score for each module. And after that, based on your results, I have a program where you get conversion to Board of Education score out 800, okay? So you send for each module 2 numbers. One is number of correct, and second is percent of correct for each module. Okay. So for warming up, yesterday I had a lecture, we studied some stuff, and I recall one events many years ago, really many years ago. I was invited to Melbourne University in Australia with lectures. And it's a great country, right? Nice nature. And on this department, many people, they have a habit to bet something for cards, for horses, etc. I never played this game. Or using kind of like jackpot to win. And one they ask if it's possible to, and they show the different tricks and they bet for these tricks. And ask one of this question to figure out strategy to get jackpot. I wrote a program at night and show the probability to win is extremely low. It was imitation of buying this jackpot probability. And I explained this, I never played for this. And one of them asked, is it possible to show some trick? It was hot summer. And I asked a question. The question is over there. Is it possible to drink 163.36 grams of water from closed gallon of water without opening it? And again, pretend you have gallon of water, new one, not opened. And the question, is it possible to drink 163.36 grams of water from this gallon, from this container, without opening this? Okay, who think it's possible? Put your hands down. Who think it's impossible? Okay. Who would like to know this trick to show your friends, maybe? Okay. It's based on math. Not complicated trick. Yesterday I showed students for somebody asked we study one topic. I show which one. And based on this topic, I show this trick. Okay, let me ask manager to assist me. Just a sec. Oh, here it is. I have gallon of water, yes? Closed, not open. You understand the situation? And who think it is possible, put your hands down again. From this container to drink 163.36 grams of water without opening it, close from this container. Okay, you see what? Okay, basic of math. Step number 1. Put it backward, like upside down. Step number 2. You have a frustum. You know frustum? Truncated cone. Okay, this. Step number 3. Preliminary, you're supposed to count the volume using frustum cone. You remember this formula? And from here you can easily drink. Who get this trick? Did I open this container? No. Did I drink from this container? Yes. Is it 163.36? Yes, you can easily measure and count this. Okay, so far so good. Have fun, students. Put it back. Good. Why I mentioned this? Before to erase, yesterday we got a problem, exactly the same problem from the test. They asked to, it could be an SAT questions also, to find volume of this frustum. Frustum is truncated cone. So 2 ways, either from volume large cone, which formula you know, 1/3 area of base times height, minus a volume of the small cone by the same formula. Preliminary, you have to find this radius. Or there's another way, faster, but I don't recommend to memorize this too much. And this is frustum formula. We name this solid through frustum. If you have radius 1, radius 2, and based on this relationship, you can easily get volume. Okay, this about it. So far, so good. Will you this for your friends, students? This trick, right? You always bet. We better get a lot of money this evening, right? Seven doctors participate in this one. So I'm not teaching you how to bet, I teach you how to what? Use math everywhere. Okay. Now, today is 02/17. 24 SAT digital questions. Okay, some of you sending me the answers without steps, which is not good. Do your work. Module 1. Digital SAT Module 1. Number 5. 1, 5. It's module 1, number 5. You have x squared plus y squared. What is it? Minus 6x plus 4y equal to 36. Okay. And they ask you what the center of circle. Did I write correctly? So unscramble this. All terms with x first. X squared minus 6x. I use the two formula. A plus b to the second. A squared plus 2ab and plus b squared. And you have minus, it would be minus. I want to complete the square. So this is 2 times 3x. So the second one is 3 to the second, which is 9, and minus 9. Now I combine terms with y. Plus y to the second plus 4y and plus 4 and minus 4 equal to 36. After that, it will be x minus 3 to the second plus y plus 2 to the second, and combine this like terms minus 13 equal to 36. Plus 13 and plus 13, it will be 49. Now, canonical equation of circle. X minus h to the second, line up, plus y minus k to the second equals to r to the second. They ask you coordinate. So h equals to 3 and negative k equals to 2. It means k equals to negative 2. I do a little bit briefly because we did many times. This x coordinate of center and this is y coordinate of center. Who understand 100%? 100 of this, 100. Who has any questions? Complete the square. You have tons of time and 7 students ask this question. This is not question difficult, it's just mechanics. Many students ask number 6. Again, if you're not asking me, I assume that you understand everything, if not too fast.
Dr. Farber, how
Yes.
did you know to choose 9 and 4?
Because according to this formula, you have double product of the first time the second. Look at this. What is negative 6? Negative 6 is minus double product times 3 times x. So x, since x is the first term, the second is 3, right? And according to this formula, the second term is supposed to be to the second power. 3 to the second is plus 9. I cannot add 9. I can add only 0. I compensate this and subtract 9. Now this one. You have double product, this one. 2 times 2 times y. Y is the first term, the second is 2. In this formula, it's supposed to be 2 to the second, which is 4 and minus 4. We name this, Katerina, is complete the square. Complete the square. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Next is number 6, few students. What we have on number 6? Also 7 students. So you can solve a few different ways, typical question. One, 6. What we have. Again, if I make mistakes in too small letters, let me know. A to power x to power x. times 4 to power 2x equals 2 to power ax to power x divided by 2 power negative b and everything to power x. What the value of a? A is a question mark. Well, when you have exponential equations, since in this test they don't require logarithm, we have only one way. We name this way to have the same basis, right? I do very slowly, since many students ask, what is 8? 8 is 2 to power 3 and 2 power x, and everything to power x. What I did, 2 to power 3 is 8, nothing else. What is 4? Is 2 to power 2 times 2 to power x. Any question about this? Actually, what I did, I used this formula, a to power m to power n equals a to power mn. This key thing, I step back, I see if you have questions. If you have questions, ask me. No questions? Okay, if you don't have questions, let's do this. Is 2 to power 3x to power x times 2 to power 4 times power x. Is the same in this to power x. Okay, I can combine. It's the same like 2 to power 3x times 2 to power 4 to power x. It's the same. Or we have ratio here. It's the same like 2 to power 3x divided by 2 to power negative 4 to power x. Why use negative? When you have negative power, 8 to power negative m is the same like 1 over 8 to power m. What I'm doing, I want to get the same base and format the same like we have here. Right? And ask you what is value of a. And this one equals is given 2 to power ax divided by power 2 to power negative b to power x. Look at this. Left part equals to right part. Base is the same. Everything very symmetrical. The same structure. So based on this, I will explain this question. So a equals to 3. Let me explain why I did this one. I expected this question. 2 to power 4, I can represent. If I multiply this, I want to explain this guy. Is 2 to power 3x times. Instead of 2 to power 4, I can write 1 divided by 2 to power 4. And like you study in 4th grade, how you divide two fractions. Keep, change, flip. Keep like it is. I just showed the same. 2 to power 3x. Okay. Change division to multiplication. And flip upside down. Okay. I just showed this one. But what is it? It's the same like 2 to power negative 4. I wrote 2 to power negative 4 over there. Ask me any questions if you have.
Dr. Farber,
How did it become -4?
Negative 4, show this. For instance, look at this. You know this formula, right? Do you?
Yes.
For instance, a to power negative 1 is 1 over a. Negative means upside down. For instance, a to power negative 4 equals 1 divided by a to power 4. My goal to have the same structure. Look at this, left part is product and right part is quotient. I use this approach to change the second term. Can you see this and this the same?
Oh, I see it.
So we have just limited tools how to flip it. In this case, negative power. So far, so good. Any questions? If you have a question, ask me. Don't be shy. You have to understand these concepts. Easy questions. Many times you can see this in the test. This one not only one approach. You can do the same with right part, but left is better. Okay. So the same basis, the same structure. After that, use beautiful symmetry. Again, I go through most request questions. If I skip something, you will ask me. Okay. Houston asked me number 8. Number 8. A lot of questions in digital graph transformation. 1-8. If you have a function f of x, let me take it from class. Okay. F of x, which number is 8, equals to times x minus 3 to the second power, and plus 8. It transformed to g of x. I continue with it, not in a row. It transformed to g of x equals 2 times x minus 5 to the second plus 5. Okay. And the question is, it transformed to this one. Which is the direction describes the transformation? You know, generally speaking, let me explain graph transformation somewhere. Let's say here. Let's say I have y equals to ax squared. There is parabola which goes through origin. If a is negative, parabola goes like this. Upside down. The bigger a, the less wider, more narrow this graph. I just explained all graph transformation. If you subtract a parabola, write this: y equals a times x minus b to the second. If you have subtraction in a parentheses, you have to move this parabola to the right, b units. And this graph. If you add c it means you have to move. If C is positive, you have to move C units up. And your parabola will be like this. If it's negative, you move this C units down. This is basically what we have. Now compare what happens with this one, the first one. I just explain in details. So we don't care about this coefficient. They ask you about position. First of all, it's -3. It means +3 was. Right, this one parabola. And this is position for f of x. And g of x is 5. And this position of vertex for g of x. Now, f of x, y coordinate was 8. This 8 for f of x. And g of x, y coordinate is 5. So now compare these two parabolas. One goes like this, and the second goes like this. You can assume that parabola goes down by how many units? 8 minus 5, which is 3 down. Look, multiple choice where you have 3 downs. A, for instance. We have another one. B, 3 units down. Now, see the difference. Instead of 3, it becomes 5. It's moving 2 units to the right. So 2 to the right and 3 down. Just basic of graph summary. Maybe explain into details, but I believe you understand everything, right, students? Who understand this? 100%, 100, 100. Okay, typical.
I have a question.
Yes.
For these kinds of questions on the SAT, are we allowed to use our calculator?
Yes, you can use calculator, but this is faster. Definitely, if you compare, for instance, don't overuse calculator. It's allowed to use calculator, digital. But for instance, I ask you simple question. 2 times 1 trillion. Instant answer, right? 2 trillions. If you use calculator, input all this data much longer. So don't overuse, because it's straightforward. We have experience. You know this is 3 down. If you look at this, you see 3 down, you see 2 to the right. Okay, because time is very important. If you get stuck in one question, you will not finish this on time, and your score will not be very impressive. Again, I go through most class questions first. Number, what is it? Number 13. 7 students. There's Anastasia, my suggestion, after class, redo this few times. And because the same question, only they change numbers. Module 113. You have 5 times x plus 3 minus 3 times 2 minus x equals to px plus 7. I believe I wrote it correctly. Minus 3, right? What the value of p? You have to find p when there is no solutions. You think? Okay. So distributive, you have 5x plus 15 minus 6 plus 3x equals 8x plus 9, and this equals to px plus 7. Behind it, I just explained, this is straightforward one. This is the answer, p equals to 8, but I explain why. We have two cases for linear equation when we have it. This is linear equation, the first degree. Then there's two graphs. There's y1, y2. It's only for explanation. And one graph is this one, y1. And the second, this is 9. And the second, pretend is 7. It goes like this. They have no solution, only one cases. When two lines never intersect. When they parallel. They parallel but the slope the same. And y-intercept is different. Slope the same, p equals to 8, they parallel, no solutions. Who understand this? 100%. Typical question from the test, typical. Okay. Okay, Euclid axiom about parallel lines. It was 13. So again, I go through most frequently. After that, I can return to any questions you have. Next. Number 20. 120. I do preliminary 120. First of all, price increased by 20. It would be 100 plus 20, 120%, which is 1.2. Next, price dropped by 14. 100 minus 14 equals to 86%, which is 0.86. What else? What overall percentage increase or decrease? Well, many questions, they don't give you original value. If they don't give you, you choose it. Let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Let original is $100. Now, step number 4. 100 times 1.2 times 0.86. If you multiply, I did it, I get 103.2. So instead of $100, it becomes 103. Step number 5. 103.2 minus 100 increased by 3.2. Right? Percent. What the percent increase or decrease? Is 3.2. But this $3.2. But since you use very convenient number, you don't write conversion. That's not smart for SAT. You can write this, generally speaking. $100 is 100%. $3.2. This is symmetrical. Is since this convenient number is the same like 3.2%. Okay. So they actually, if you think, I never do this stuff. You can do it mentally. This key thing. You can do it in one line. Who understands this? 100%, 100. Sometimes I have seen one time on the test many years ago, they use like 5 sequential increasing and decreasing. Don't use step. For instance, increase by 30, 1.3. Decrease by 20 is 0.8. Increase by 14, 1.14. Just multiply all this by original number. You got instant in one line. Calculator is allowed. So far, so good? Good, good, good. So answer all most requested questions from section from module number 1. After explain all most requested from different modules, you return to any of this problem. Okay. Now let's go through module number 2E. And write down question we need still help. So first is number 7. Okay. 2E7. Let me use it like this. E7. You have triangle. Right triangle. And this 24 feet. And this leg is 10 inches. They have to find area in square feet. So it means this is the same like 10 over 12 or 5 over 6 feet. When you convert everything to feet, use formula for first grade area of triangle base times height divided by 2, which is 24 times 5 over 6 divided by 2. 2 times 6, 12. This is 12. 12 goes into 24 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 square feet. Always convert to unit they ask you about. Okay, number. Again, if too fast, ask me. Number 13. 13. Very typical question. Can you read this, students? Just baseline height divided by 2. No wonder they named this module easy. Okay, 2E13. 2E13. Write numeration when you go through it home. F of x plus 3. Very typical. I have seen hundreds of this example. Five x minus 17. You have to find f of 2. Well, you see what difference. Here we have binomial, and this is monomial. So one of this way you can use general terms or specifically, for instance, let x plus 3 equals to 2. I want to plug in 2, right? Minus 3 and minus 3, x equals to negative 1. I can write f of 2 is the same like f of negative 1 plus 3, where my x equals to -1. Since x equals to -1, I plug in here 5 times -1 minus 17. I have -5 minus 17, -22. Okay, don't plug in here -1. If you plug in -1, don't plug in here 2 because you answer different questions. So first of all, they ask you about 2, so make it equals to 2. Who understand this 100%? 100. Where is Daniel and Dmitra? Dmitra, Daniel, Kate, Nicholas, and Vlada. Okay, you know, in my program, we measure, also psychologists work with our company. We measure how careful you are and compare your results with your scores. Okay, good. I'm a psychologist as well. It helps a lot. It was number 13. Number 14, many students. 9 students for 14. What is 14? 14. Evelyn, would you like to read number 14 to E? 14, please.
Amber travels from her home to the mall in 1.5 hours. She completes her errands in 1 hour and she then travels back home in 2.5 hours. If the distance from the mall to her home is X miles, find the average speed of her trip in terms of X.
Thank you. Just make some drawing for understanding. Let's say this is A, this is B, and moving goes, what name of this parent school? Amber. Okay, travel to these directions. Time 1, it was 1 and 1/2 hours. After that, equally errands, she spent 1 hour in the mall. T2 equals 1 hour. I will write mall. And now back. After that, she traveled this way and T3 back. What is it? I believe 2.5 hours. Very typical question. And one more thing, distance between A and B is X. The best solution for this, to find our average, you always do like this. D total, this is distance, divide by T total, this is time. Now plug in, back and forth, X and X, back this way, 2 X's, back and forth, time. 1 and 1/2 plus 2 and 1/2 and plus 1, this one. So it would be 2 X's, 3, 4, 5. Just a second. 3, 4, 5, right? 2x/5. What we have in just a second. Addition from all to help only one. What's the average speed? I don't need this one. It's not movement. Right, students? It's not movement. Okay. 2x/4. Or after simplification, x/2. They distract you with this time. It's not average time, average rate, right? When she moving. It was 14. Next is, let me cross it out. 13, 14. Not like this. 16.
Dr. Farber, I'm sorry, can you please explain it again? I didn't quite get it.
So to find average rate, we have this formula. I just give example. Similar example is different. Pretend we have distance between these two, A and B, 120 miles. This way car moves 60 mph. And this way is 40 mph. And you have to find average rate, R average. Many, not only students, even grown up make this mistake. I remember some of my programmer students, they get in job interview. What are they doing? Well, this is 60, this is 40, 40 plus 60 is 100, divided by 2 is 50. Wrong. 50 is wrong. Because is wrong, this is cross. How to find average rate for this one? R average equals D total divided by T total. Only this way. Why? Because this is weighted average, not arithmetic average. We have different harmonic average, etc. This is weighted average. And D total back and forth, 120 and 120, 240. So far, so good? Pass me this question. So far, so good? Back and forth, 240. Yes, no?
Yes.
And how to find time to this way? To this way is 120 divided by 60. This time from A to B. Plus, how to find time from B to A? 120 divided by 40. Because time equals distance divided by rate. Let's count. This is 240. 120 divided by 60 is 2. 120 divided by 40 is 3. This guy is 5. 240 divided by 5 is 48. 48 never equals to 50. 48 only the answer. So what is the conclusion from here? To find average rate, you always use this formula. What is different between this and this? In this one, we have 120 miles. Here we have x. X and x to x's. This time already given this way. And this time already given this way. Just plug in, you get this answer. Better?
Yes, thank you.
So keep in mind, student, in job interview, they like this question. But if you remember, who took my Mark Twain prep? Remember we did in 4th, 5th grade this question? Who remember this? You see many students remember this question. We name it average rate. They trick kids with this one. Anyway. Next question, it was, which one I explain? Next is 216, 216. Next problem. Out of 48 total, 48 students total. They practice sanitary, how many? 23. So if you have more students, I don't know how many practice. If you count cross multiplication, you find that x equals, I will just write numbers, because cross multiplication everybody knows this 1092.5. I did it. But ask you how many did not practice. So 2280 minus 10922.5, and you get the results. Okay, read question. This is negation. If you have questions, ask me. 17. 2E17. No questions? Just proportion. You have g of x equals 2 to x. This function is given. 1 unit to the left, our goal. 1 unit to the left, and 1 unit up. Well, new function, let's say g1 of x equals 2. You know, if you have, remember, to the right, we did at the beginning of the lesson, use minus. To the left, use plus in parentheses. X plus 1. This guy. And 1 up, plus 1. Graph transformation. Or 2x plus 2 distributive plus 1 2x plus 3. Again, very similar what we did here. Many questions. You see the same test, 2 questions like this. Graph transformation. Too fast, ask me, students. Again, when you have plus here, it go to the left. When minus, go to the right. When you have plus up, minus down. It's it. Like joystick. Okay. Really many students ask number 19. 19. What is 19 here? Very typical question. 19. I already plotted. This is one of the steps in calculus. Many questions when you study integrals, the preliminary steps like this. So to just, I do it a little bit slowly. You have expression like x squared minus 6x plus 10 over x plus 2. And this equals to a plus b divided by x plus 2. And they ask you to find b. SAT based idea, a lot of questions SAT based on idea of symmetry. Like we did, remember with 8 to power x left part, 2 to power x right part. We try to make the same basis and equal to parts. And this is hidden division. This is division. Let's divide this trinomials. How do you divide? Long division. You can use synthetic division. X squared minus 6x plus 10 divided by x plus 2. X times x is x to the second. X times 2 plus 2x. Subtract. X squared minus x squared, cancel out. Negative 6x minus 2x is negative 8x plus 10. Any question we did? We had special session related to division, long division. Any questions so far? Now, negative 8x minus 8 times x, negative 8x. Negative 8 times 2, negative 16. Subtract. Cancel out. 10 minus negative 16, 26. And this remainder is 26. I just make analogy like you did in third grade. For instance, 21 divided by 5 is 4 and remainder 1. Or you can write it down. This is dividend divisor quotient remainder. It is same like 4 and 1 over 5. Or 4 plus 1 over 5, whatever. I use the same idea. So I can write this. This is my quotient. My quotient is x plus x minus 8. X minus 8 plus. This is my remainder. Remainder is 26. This is my divisor, x plus 2. Based on our beautiful symmetry, if they ask you to find A would be this guy, and B is this guy. B equals to 26. So far, so good questions. If you have question, ask me. Typical, who understand up to this point everything? Hands up, students. Hands up. Daniel K, Anastasia, Mubina, Tuse, Anastasia. Anastasia is hands up. You're not listening, right? Hands down. 2 seconds, students. My system AI. Consider that more than 2 seconds, you're not listening. Maximum 2 seconds. 2 seconds, right? Good. So this year I have presentation in World Congresses and Education. And they asked to make this presentation because I accomplished online result is higher than in person. Higher. I compare the same test in the person and online. Online we have a lot of people don't know how to use it. If I didn't give you a chance to fool around over there, give you quizzes, it's everything by this system. Use method of decomposition. Online is a future for online. It's much more powerful. Proven. It was the first Congress in Cambridge this year, etc., etc. So this is very important. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, consider you're not listening. Okay, it was 19. 19, many students asked, but the last one from this part is 21. Let me see what we have at 21. Again, if you have any question, ask me. 21. 21 is a word problem. Who would like to read this 21? For instance, Veronica Z, you asked this question as well as many students. Veronica Z, would you like to read this? 21.
Yeah, sure. The psychology department of a school conducted a study on 20 random students in a third grade class of 58 students. 20 of the students were then offered a supplement. The study found that 15 of these students did better in their end-term exams compared to those who did not take the supplements. Which of the following statements can best be concluded from the above study?
Thank you. That's very typical question. Easy. It's not complicated. And they ask you cause and effect relationship. I'll give example. For instance, you know that winter time, more kids sick, right? Agree? In winter compared to summertime, generally. But let's say scientists made research, and they did not take in consideration different factors, and they study how people consume ice cream. And they found during the summer, people consume much more ice cream. And they make conclusion that if you eat more ice cream, less people would be sick. It is not how they name it here in your multiple. It is not cause and effect relationship, it's just coincidence. Why? Because we don't take consideration different factors. Okay, growth of bacteria, vitamin D, a lot of, when real scientists study process, he take consideration many different factors. Similar situation in this problem. They study, first of all, they make conclusion this is because they supplements. So we don't know about other variables in this case. Step number one. Second, in order to make conclusion about in generalization, you have to get the big sample. And you study small sample and make this conclusion. That answer is D. In ancient Greek, they study in their academy, they study, who knows what is sophism? Sophism. Anybody sophism? Raise your hand. Sophism. It's kind of related to this. Sophism, they like to have, I will not use scientific terminology, they like to use some facts and based on logic get wrong results. For instance, one of sophism. It's not nice, but assume. Assume that my neighbor is idiot. Is it possible? What do you think? Definitely it is possible. This formation Greek. It's not nowadays. We can do this. So again, statement number one. My neighbor is idiot. Statement number two. All people are neighbors. Conclusion. All people are idiots. You can do from small representation, generalization for entire set. Okay? So this is few think why the answer is D. Who understand this so far? 100%, 100. Good. Many questions on this is not difficult. So I explain the most frequent question from the package to E. Now you're gonna to H. Again, after that we can return to any of these questions back. To H. Again, I go through most frequent question first. Mm-hmm. Nine, 10. 9, 10. To H, 9 and 10. It's a cluster. They connected together. To H, 9 and to H, 10, two of them. So they give equation h of t equals negative 16t to the second plus 128t plus 320 plus 320. Okay. Number 9, what number of seconds to build reach peak? Okay, you know this. Pretend this row this is parabola. And this is time. And this is height. So x coordinate of vertex. And x equals to negative b over 2a, which is negative. This is b. 2a is negative 16. If you, since it's scientific calculator, you count this, and I get, what is it? I got it 4 seconds. Is 2h9. 2h10. At what time the value hit the ball will hit the ground? Okay. So what is supposed to do? Hit the ground when y equals to 0. When h of t equals to 0, negative 16t squared. Okay. At what time the ball hit the ground? Yes. Plus 128t plus 320 equals to 0. So I schematically roll this from 0. It maybe not goes from 0. So how to solve this equation? You can factorize it, right? Negative 16t squared plus, when you divide by 16, minus 8 minus 8t and minus 20. Factorize, but François Vieta. T minus 10, you don't care about 16 this, times t plus 2 equals to 0. Since we need only positive, so t equals to 10. Okay. By the way, another way. If this parabola goes, pretend like this kind of, and this is, what is it? This is negative 2, and this is 10, the second way. Negative 2, like midpoint, right? Plus 10 divided by 2, you get the same form, based on the same, whatever, 2 ways. Any question about 9, 10?
Dr. Barber, how do you know when to use the formula x equals negative b over 2a?
This formula given to find vertex. To find this vertex. If they ask you find this vertex, there's this formula. Always. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Look at this. What they ask you in this question? They ask you to reach its peak. What is peak? Simple English is vertex. And coordinate of vertex when it's peak. This one, formula. Good. Next is, it's 9, 10. Next is 13. 2h13. Well, I'll make this small table. X, Y. We have 0 to, what else? K14 for explanation. K plus 2, 17. We have this table, X, Y. And this is straight line, point 16 M. Lines are the same line. What value of M? They sometimes confuse students because M usually, you know, this is a slope. M is not a slope, it's just coordinates. And one of this way, how you can solve this, you can find the equation of this line. If you know what equation, this is a line. And let's say instead of M, I put here X, not to confuse you. Keep in mind. Or MX. What about this? Because real M is Y2 minus Y1 slope, X2 minus X1. If you look at this table, I'm going to be sure that I plug in everything. Choose convenient numbers. For instance, this is 17 minus 14 divided by x plus k plus 2 and minus k. It would be cancel out in 3 over 2. Since you know slope, I can represent line y equals to f of x equals 3 over 2 x plus b. If I knew b, I can answer any question. B is unknown. But I can plug in here any value of this, right? This is just point. Okay. Now look at what we have here again. Can you do a little bit faster this? Okay, not necessarily. I'll look into faster way. This is just point. Okay, the fastest way could be, even I don't need this equation of life. Look at this. Now I use this to group. This is faster. Now the same slope would be what? Mx, this is just point, minus 2, divided by 16 minus 0, which is mx minus 2 divided by 16, and this equals to 3 over 2. This is faster. This is a bit longer. It's also fine, but it's long. Now, 2mx cross 2mx minus 4 equals to 48, plus 4 plus 4, 2mx cancel out, equals to 52, and divide by 2, you get 26. This is a little bit faster. Or you can do in one line. You can write this guy equals to this guy. A little bit fast. Any questions? Students, any questions for this one? No questions. Next is 13, 14, very typical. 14, many students. 2H14. In 2H14, James spent 3 over 4 of his allowance on music TV. Let's say original money. She spent 3/4. 3x over 4. She spent for CD. If this left, how much is left? X minus 3x over 4. It would be x over 4 left. Read next statement. And 2 over 3, what is left, spent to hamburgers. 2 over 3, what is left, this is 1, this is 2, would be x over 6 spent for hamburgers. And now, if this left P dollars, so so far she had left x over 4, and from this she spent x over 6 for all hamburgers, right? And this 12, right? We have here LCD. This is 3, this is 2. 3x minus 2x, it would be x over 12. And this equals to P dollars, or P over 1. So x equals 12P cross. Step by step. Also a typical question from this test. If you have any question, ask me. I'll tell a very short story. Many years ago, I believe 1994, 95, they developed a new object-oriented language, Java. One of the best language from my point. And every couple years, they make different version of this. Java 2, Java 3, blah, etc. Right? And not only Java, any applications also have different versions. And once I found a book in Barnes & Noble in Fifth Avenue. It was nice, tiny book, big one. The name of this book in computer department was a computer book which never be obsolete. Never. It's impossible because every computer book in a couple of years is obsolete. I was surprised, opened this book, and you know what I found? Guess how to write book which never be obsolete from point of view authors. Computer book. Is it possible? Well, when I opened this book, I found this is blank pages, 400 blank pages. But at the end of this book, it was glued what? Floppy, you know floppy disk? Who knows what? Who has seen floppy disk? It looks like rectangle like this. I don't know. Usually have in Microsoft Word this one, this icon, floppy disk. You see, they said nobody will, it will be not obsolete, but majority of you have never seen this floppy disk, right? This about it. About CD, you don't use too much CDs right now, like in this problem. It was number 14. Few students asked 17. Real story. In 17. Before this 3 inches floppy disk, I remember I used for my programs 5 inches. Maybe anybody who has seen 5 inches floppy disk? Oh, really? Good. I created one program with my colleagues from Lvov Institute of Academy of Science of Ukraine. He works for Saab Corporation right now, Dr. Berbyuk. And many of our programs were on this 5 inches before Perfocards and after 5 inches. To age 17. Now let me make this picture. And this is P -2, 4. Be careful if I roll this number, K. That's for K. This is 0. This is Q, which is K plus 1. K plus 1. And 0. And area of triangle, how you name this triangle? OPQ equals to 3. Find K. Well, look at this. This is base of this triangle is X. K plus 1. Obtuse triangle, this height is K. Then area of triangle, base times height divided by 2, or K plus 1 times K divided by 2. And this equal to 3. If I multiply by 2 both parts, and open parentheses to save time and space, K squared plus K equals to 6 minus 6 minus 6. I get K squared plus K minus 6 equals to 0. And they ask you to find what? K. K plus 3 times K minus 2. Since K must be positive, from here K equals to 2. Simple quadratic equations. If you have any question, ask me question. 17. Now many students ask 19. If too fast, again, ask me questions. 19. Okay. Can I erase this? Mitro, Oleg, you're raising hand. Can I erase this? Mitro? Good. 19. To age 19. So before I forget, for tomorrow, I wrote some application. And tomorrow we're gonna remember I tried to do it previous time, but wasn't busy with this Congress. Tomorrow, student, even who does not take this, we will make estimation with Dr. James together. It's if computer works, everything, it will be 100% tomorrow. We evaluate your part in English, because we have the same goal. I want to have more my student get perfect score, close to perfect. So tomorrow you're supposed to prepare homework definitely, but tomorrow you'll have, I show how English part works from point of AI or digital SAT, how behind what idea we have inside, and we will make we will do in the class test. and everybody got scores. So we imitate the model that you have in real environment, right? We prepare everything for you. It will be a kind of adaptive test, not just digital, but kind of adaptive imitation. And we will have results tomorrow. So be careful that you have cell phone charged, computer charged, because after each module you send us your score, and based on this we go to related module in real time frame. I use this my favorite stopwatch. 32 minutes is 32 minutes, not 1 minute up extra. And tomorrow, even you don't take it, you speak English, it does not mean that your English is enough to get nice scores, right? Keep in mind, if you don't take, good idea to join this group and contact manager. Okay, next is 2H19. We discuss everything with Dr. James. He is PhD Princeton professors, right, and New York University. Okay, now we have some graph. Let me make this graph kind of. This one, schematically, this one, and this one, kind of like this. And when this equals to -2, this equal to 3. Then this is 3. When this equals to 6, this part equals to 5. And this is B6, 5. And this is A, -3, 3. Well, the graph function is shown this way. With the following is the average rate of change. And let me write here. Average rate of change between x equals to, this is -3, and x6. So this is one of key concepts in calculus, right? Average rate of change. What is derivative? Rate of change. So we have to take original point and final point, connect them, and study slope of this line. Original and final. So far so good. So equals y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. This is 5 minus 3 divided by 6 minus -3. It would be 2 over 9. And this average, when they ask you average rate of change, original and final point. Any questions of this?
Dr. Farber,
Uh-huh.
can we go back to module 2E and go over 3 and 10, please?
Yes, only one question answer for this one. One more question where many students ask. And after that, just tell me because I don't remember this. Remind me.
Okay, thank you.
20, many students, 7 students ask number 20. Who would like to read number 20? Who did not read today? I forget Theodore voice. Theodore, number 20 from this package. Hello, Theodore. You muted? Let me check. Yeah, okay, I don't know why, but you're unmuted. Number 20.
Emily traveled 60 miles on the highway and 60 miles on the local roads to reach her destination. On the highway, she traveled 30 miles faster on the local roads. If her speed on the local roads is 20 miles per hour, then what was her average speed in miles per hour during the entire trip?
Okay, thank you. We did similar. You see the same test. 2 hard 20. Make a drawings. Emily, 60 miles from A to B. Let's say there are 60 miles. And from B to C, not to scale. Okay, 16 miles. Supposed to be smaller, 16 miles. Travel 30 miles faster than the local road. If in local rate 20 mph, and this is 30 faster. 20 plus 30 equals to 50 mph. And this have to find average rate. We did today. R average, D total divided by T total. D total is 60 plus 16. T total 60 divided by 50. Plus 16 divided by 20. Since you have scientific calculator, this is idea. Actually, one line problem. Any questions, students? So again, wherever you have average rate, you're supposed to use the same approach. Total distance divided by total time. So I explained this most request question from package number 2H. Now, I believe Evelyn, what numbers you ask? And what package?
Module 2E.
Module 2E, and what questions?
Number 3 and 10.
Number?
3 and 10.
Number 3 and 10. Okay. Let me find this module. Number 3. Where is number 3? 2E, right? Two E3. Oh, we have negative 2y plus 2 less than 6. And they ask you to find what? The least y. Well, minus 2 and minus 2. And now negative 2y. Cancel out less than 4. Divide by -2, -2, cancel out. Y, -2. But you know, when you divide by negative, you must change sign to opposite. If I depict a number line, this is -2, not inclusively, and this is my solution set. And the least number which belongs to the solution set is -1. So,
Why can't it be 0 though? Because isn't 0 considered an integer?
but what is least? What is smaller? -1 or 0?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Welcome. And second one is at 10, right? I wrote.
Yes.
When is 10? 10. To E10. Y minus 7 equals to e to the power x minus 5. What is y-intercept? Y-intercept of original function or for equation below. What is y? You know, doesn't matter what function you have, right? Doesn't matter. Just right here. Y-intercept. Y-intercept when x equals to 0 always, right? So what we have? What happens when x equals to 0? This guy is 0. It would be 3 to the power 0 is 1 minus 5, which is -4. And they ask you to find clarify y-intercept. Well, +7 and +7. And we have y cancel out equals to 3. So when x equals to 0, y equals to 3. So far so good?
Yes, thank you.
Somebody wrote this question, can you? Number 12 and module M. Number 12, yes. Sure, Veronica, just let me find module. Module 2, we have two modules, E or H. Veronica, clarify, please. Which one? 2E, okay. 2E, number 12. Okay. Number 2E12. Would you like this? Would you like to read this question, Veronica? Number 12, 2E12, please.
If f of 3 equals -1 and f of 4 equals -3, what is the x-intercept for the line represented by the function f of x?
Okay, classical example, thank you. F of 3 equals to -1. F of 4 equals to -3. And they ask you to find x-intercept. Remember, like we did table today, and I wanted to use mx plus b, and after that I changed mine, I use faster. Let me show a classical approach for this. What is it? You can assume that this is y1 and this is y2. And let's, the first way, build a line. I need to build a line mx plus b. And m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 equals to -3 minus -1 divided by 4 minus 3. I will have this is plus 1, negative 2 over 1, which is negative 2. Agree? If you have negative 2, step number 2, I can get that y equals to f of x equals to negative 2x plus b. Well, in order to have b, I can plug in any value from this, what we have, what is given, right? For instance, I plug in here negative 1, which is my y. This is negative 1 equals negative 2 times 3 plus b, or negative 6 plus b, or plus 6 plus 6 and plus 6, I get 5 equals to b. Step number 3, since I have m and b, I can get equation of this line. Y equals to f of x equals negative 2x plus 5. Plus 5. Now they ask you to find x-intercept. X-intercept when y equals to 0. Minus 5 and minus 5. Negative 2x cancel out equals to negative 5. Divide by negative 2. And you get what? 2.5. Okay. Who understand up to this point? 100%, 100. Who has questions? Would you like to see this without this equation? Maybe it's faster, since it's very typical question. Let me briefly show the second way. I use the space. The second way. Look at this. I just give you an idea. Let's say have Cartesian coordinates. When x equals to 3, y equals to negative 1. When x equals to 4, y equals to negative 3. And I have this line. So this is 4, this is 4, this side is 3, this side is, I make a little bit like this, nice. This side is 1. Okay. And what else we have here? I need to find this x. And I have triangle, I don't know, you see this, this is A, B, C, D, E. If I enlarge, you can easily see they're similar triangle. Okay, if they're similar, you can make ratio. So since this is 4, this side would be what? This bigger side. 4 minus x. This is 4 minus x. And this is 3. And this is 1. And this side would be what? 3 minus x. In one shot, after you make drawing, they're similar. 3 to power 4 minus x equals 1 divided by 3 minus x. Cross multiplication, find x. Okay, sometimes this is faster. Okay, this was what? Number 12. Have another question. Number 9. Number 9, if I tell you correctly. In module 1. Number 9 in module 1. Let me be sure. Module 1. Number 9. One 9. They give you a graph. I build it not to scale. Okay. I require a picture you have. And the graph goes like this: asymptotically close to x-axis, and this is 0. This somewhere 20. Okay. And which of the following? For instance, A, multiple choice. Y equals to 5 multiplied by 0.7 to power x. D or B, y equals to 5 times 1.3 to power x. C, y equals to 3 times 0.7 to power x. And D, what is it, 3 y equals to 3 times 1.3. I need to write it down because otherwise it's not understandable, this one. I take different color, and generally speaking, you have two options. When you have y equals to a times what we have here, times b to power x. And you can represent by two graphs. When x equals to 0, this guy becomes 1, and this is a. If b is greater than 1, graphs go this way. I take different color. When b is less than 1, is decreasing function. It goes this way. Is b less than 1? Since we started with you this exponential functions, right? So since it goes up, you can easily see this is garbage and this is garbage. Because this b is less than 1. Function is supposed to go this way. We have only two options. And they look very similar. Only difference, if you look more precisely, if in your graph this is 10, if you divide again, this is 5. If you look at this picture. But since it doesn't go through 5, it's below than 5, just visually. It's about 3 here. So this is the answer. Okay. So far, so good. How we understand this? Veronica?
I understand. Thank you.
Well, student, we did a great job today. And let's improve this. Improve. Try to get the highest score possible. This is not difficult. Did you find something unusual here? Well, some students, many people call us and said, well, it's so easy. They bought some books and blah, blah, blah. Book does not, first of all, does not reflect everything. Second of all, your test is this test, digital SAT. It's an iceberg. This module 1 is very easy to give chance not to be disappointed to anybody with low information. Module 2, they do not eliminate any topic we study in SAT. Everything could be included. But what they did, they included this one, they included this module 1. It could be module 2 easy. Or module 1 and module 2 hard. In your book, you usually have these 2 modules. They don't have even module 3 or 2 hard. And you're so happy. You did this one, you got this one. And after that, you come here very disappointed after the test. Why? Because there's not reflect. So again, tomorrow I'm gonna do what with you? With Dr. James, we're gonna go the same concept with English. I want to feel from outside this, okay? So get enough sleep, be in shape, be on time tomorrow. Let me give you homework.